Hi there. So welcome back to Tara. Just doing a bit of an update on what we've done so far. So we've done anti-foul now, and these beaching plates look a lot better than what they did. We just give them a bit of a sand down and just anti-fouled over them, and they look like new. Maya's very happy, aren't you, Maya? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Woo, 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 woo. So this is our old, or what's left of our old engine, our 10 horsepower book that we took out. As you can see, it's looking a lot clearer in here now. We've actually got our pilot berths back. Well, still a little bit Matt's tool storage, but nowhere near what it was like last time. Cleared out the head now. Cleaned up the floor a bit, and we're going to put some kind of vinyl flooring down. Storing a few bits, that's the stairs here in our V-berth. This is our spray hood. Which is not really looking good at all. We're going to try and salvage it, maybe put some wet and forget on there, but until we actually get it out and get it up, we're not quite sure if it's going to be savable or not. So, backstory, the engine we've put in at the moment is an old Yanmar 1JM that belonged to Matt's old boat, Alcres. The reason we put it in there is just we wanted to see how it fitted, because even though this boat came with a Book 10 horsepower, we've just really struggled to find a replacement. And even if we did, we factored in that the parts for Book engines, if we wanted any spares for repairs, everything seems to be in India. There's nothing left really in this country, so we thought, well, we'll just bite the bullet and change the engine completely. So Matt has put in a new 1JM in his boat Alcres before. He knows them well. They're good engines, you can get them relatively cheap, and yeah, they're just they're a good engine. They're a bit noisy with them being one cylinder. Matt's highlighted that we are going to probably need to take some height off these beds here. And why is that, Matt?
Because Yanmar engine mounts a set height, and the engine needs to sit about in the position we've got it in now. So we're going to have to chop down some of the engine beds and reglass them back in, so we'll get enough height to get the engine mounts in place.
Behind me is our new engine, and look how clean that is. So we got our Yanmar 1JM off Facebook Marketplace for, believe it or not, £250. It was missing an injector arm, and it was just advertised as it doesn't start, sold as seen. It was down in Portsmouth somewhere, I believe, so we had to get it palleted up and sent up. Matt and I did realise we were taking a massive risk in doing this, because we had no idea what it was going to be like. Luckily, there's nothing wrong with the cylinder head. It's working fine. These, unfortunately, were famous last words, but we'll come to that later in the video. Matt had a spare injector arm left over from his old engine, so he just popped that on and he started it, and it does run. So, yay! So we got a massive bargain there, but yeah, we were taking a huge risk. So a big problem that we have now is that we need engine mounts to put the engine on top of. They go on top of the beds. Because our engine compartment is really spacious, there's a lot of room in there, and what we don't want is that engine vibrating, shaking, moving from side to side. for that reason we really want to try and get the genuine Yanmar engine mounts. So we paid, as you know if you've watched our last video, we paid £400 for this boat. We paid £250 for our engine. The only engine mounts that we can find are £580, which I think is insane money. Like, how are you, man, Yanmar? What are you doing? I don't know how they can justify even charging that much money for them. So we are on the hunt for some engine mounts. We're going to try, I mean, if we have to buy them new, then so be it. But we are on the hunt to see if we can try and find some secondhand. Someone's got to have some lying about. So another option for us is that Matt's got some engine mounts on Alcris on his 1GM. So we're gonna, if we can't get the money together to get the new engine mounts, we're gonna pull Alcris out for half the winter, which needs to be done anyway. And then what we'll do is gonna take the engine mounts off Alcris and put them in here, just so we can actually get Tara in the water, make sure she floats, and yeah, just start getting the best out of her, because it's no good having a boat. I mean, it's fun tinkering in the boatyard, but you know, a boat really needs to be in the water. So what Matt's doing now is he's going to get this old engine and he's going to try and use his brute strength to pull it out so he can start trimming down the engine beds.
One half engine, back out the hole. Good thing about 1GM, you can actually pick them up and move them. A book, yes. You've got no chance.
Although you did manage to get the book out by yourself.
Out the boat by myself somehow.
Yes, Matt lifted a book engine out of this boat by himself. And someone had said to him, you'll never be able to get that out by yourself.
You'll have to pay for crane hire.
Matt's like, don't think so. So what you did is, you took the did you take the flywheel off
first? Took the flywheel and the cylinder head off, just to make it a bit lighter. Then managed to actually lift it out of the engine compartment, which worked quite well. Yeah,
easy as that. Another thing that we need to do to get the 1JM fitted properly into our compartment is that we need to do something with these couplers. So this is the coupler that we've got off our prop shaft. And this is the coupler from the 1GM. Because the 1GM it's a small engine, there's quite, when we put it in, there's quite a bit of space between the engine and the prop shaft. And rather than buying a new prop shaft that's a few inches longer, what we're going to do is, we've got a friend who's an engineer. So, I mean, they almost fit. They almost fit, and Matt could have maybe just, you know, he could have made it work, but what we don't want to do is do like a half job. You know, we want to do a proper job. So our engineer friend is actually going to get a chunk of metal and put that in between and kind of make another coupler to go in between the couplers to make it one bigger coupler. And then that's going to create a bit more space between the engine and our prop shaft as well. So I'm going to try and climb into this engine hole, this lovely clean engine hole that we lovingly hosed out last week, and it's all shiny now. And there's Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Hello. Right, this is going to be fun.
So we've marked out how much of those engine beds need to be shaved off. And Matt's going to use his circular saw to take that off. So I'm going to get out of the way. So unfortunately at this point I forgot to switch my microphone on because I'm still getting used to using an external one. So what I'm talking about here is that since I made the last video, Matt and I had decided that it wasn't realistic to keep 3 boats between us. So I've got a race yacht, a 22-foot race yacht, Matt's got a 27-foot race yacht, and then obviously we've got Tara as well. As my yacht, Legal Action, is the smallest yacht, and I can't get the dog on there at all, we decided it's probably best that I sell Legal Action, so I did put it on the market. The thing is though, out of the 3 boats, they've all got their own purpose. So Alcris is our fun, fast yacht. You don't have to reef the sails down in Alcris until it gets over 20 knots easy. You can do about 8 to 9 knots of speed out of her as well, no problem. She's just a lovely race yacht to sail. Legal Action does have those qualities but is amazing in light airs, so when it's not windy at all you can still get a couple of knots of speed out of her. In 5 knots of wind you would get 5 knots of speed easy, and she's just really fun to sail. And then of course Tara is our caravan on the water, our cruising yacht for relaxing and exploring. Basically she's a home from home. While all 3 yachts that we have embody the big dream yacht that we want, we've just decided that having 3 lots of mooring fees, 3 lots of lift outs and 3 lots of maintenance just isn't realistic whatsoever. Although I'd put Legal Action on the market, I think at the moment, until we get Tara in the water, I'm just not ready to part with her. So at this moment we're just going to have 3 yachts. Now that the engine beds have been sanded and cut down, they're ready for the mounts. That is until we made a little discovery in the cylinder head of our new engine.
I'm upset.
Why?
Because there's a hole in the head.
Right. Okay.
It's a fixable hole.
Is it?
There's a hole in the head.
Okay.
It's going to come off.
Yeah. About 5 mils or so into the exhaust hole, when I put my finger in, I could feel like a pea-sized hole, probably the size of my fingertip. When the engine first got off the pallet, we did start it, and it started first time, but we did notice that there was some oil leaking out. So what's happening is the oil is coming out of that exhaust hole and dripping down into the push rod chamber.
Is there a ratchet there?
Yeah,
ratchet. Maya's eating the things, don't buy new things.
So we're not very disheartened at the moment. The cylinder head itself is fine. The only issue we can see is a hole in the exhaust hole, which we think we can repair by putting some kind of brass sleeve in or some kind of socket.
What's happened is it's rotted through because the salt water, when it comes through the exhaust elbow, it comes back in. When you turn your engine off, it'll suck a little bit, so it'll draw a bit of salt water back in and it'll sit in the exhaust port here. So it's just over a period of time, salt water sitting in the exhaust port. It's rotted away from the exhaust port into the push rod chamber because I think the material, the measurement is, I think they're only about 2 or 3 mil thick from factory, so they're rot through. So my plan is to put it on the mill it out, then get some brass tube, put it on the lathe that down so it's a nice compression fit, tap it in, job's a good one. And about.
Oh yes, good.
And it's got the hood in the water galleries. Right, me dear. Go and inject that. Which I'm also going to take the injector and get it pressure tested. Just to double check it. Which is great if the engine runs. First turn of the key really, doesn't it? Which is pretty good.
If you've made it this far in the video, then thank you very much for watching, and also thank you to all the new subscribers and commenters as well. We'll be putting more videos on as we get Tara ready, so hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye. Once they've been cut down to the right side.
That's it done now, like. I managed to get them out, like.
So now that the mounts have been...